It's another Human First AI marketing podcast. I'm your host, Mike Montague at Avenue 9, avenue9.com. My guest this week is Jay Schwedelson. We could just say he's from Guru, but that's CEO of Outcome Media, founder of subjectline.com, the host of the Do This, Not That podcast, and general online shenanigans on LinkedIn and other places. I think.
Yes, nonsense is my specialty. Horse crap.
Well,
anyway, how are you?
I wanted to start with you because I feel like from listening to you for a long time, several years now, that your pet peeve is boring marketing. So with AI, do you think the average marketer is getting more creative or more boring?
You know, I think to penetrate now, the irony is you have to be a human. That is what's breaking through, is the humanity of everything. And so AI is amazing to help you break through, but if you are tapping into AI to kind of replace you, so to speak, to be your content engine, as opposed to it being your editor and your advisor, then you're just part of the tidal wave of generic garbage that's out there. And the beautiful part is, I'm happy that there's all this tidal wave of generic garbage, because then it lets the humanity that the rest of us are doing, actually being functional humans, it breaks through, because there's more generic garbage now than ever. It's only going to get worse. So I'm all for humans for the win, but AI is our friend and partner.
I got to imagine you're using AI to come up with some of your ideas at this point. I've already heard you talk about it this year and stuff, but you know, when you're talking about challenging Joey Chestnut to a spam eating competition or something, those are probably ideas that are not coming from AI, but you also do so many of these things and have so many ideas that I imagine they're not all humanly generated either. Can you tell me about that?
No. So I mean, for our events or different stuff, we do crazy stuff. We'll have skydivers at virtual events, or Joey Chestnut eating spam, or all these different wild things to try to break through the noise. But I think one of the most underutilized things that we do, that I use AI for every single moment of every single day, is if you have the $20 version of ChatGPT, which everybody needs to get at this point. I don't work for them. I just think the value there's bananas. But if you have that, then you have the ability in like less than 10 minutes to make your own GPT. You could literally go on ChatGPT. How do I make my own GPT? So what we do is I have a GPT. It's called Jay, and it's a private GPT. And we've uploaded the transcripts of the 400 podcast episodes I've recorded, the 100 newsletters I've written, and any other places I've been. And that is the basis of what's in there. And then I go to it all the time, like, what can I talk about now that I haven't talked about? Or what stat did I talk about on this or whatever? And it's like putting a USB in your brain. So not having your own GPT, I think, is one of the biggest misses that marketers are doing these days.
100%. I love doing that. You need help with it? Go to avenue9.com.
Perfect.
Now, with that, I think also comes a lot of other challenges. So for me, I think that coming up with an idea or having a point of view or context is part of it, but also creating something out of it. Or you're really good at attention, and I know all the work you do with subject lines and stuff, that like there's just so many different techniques and marketing expertise that's still required. I'm wondering if there's a similar question around, is marketing getting easier or harder? You said it's easier because it's easier to stand out, but I'm wondering if just all the technical pieces and the stats and the data, and we're looking at including an emoji, not an emoji, what's going on with the M dashes this year. You're always looking at stats. Do you feel like that's getting more complicated or less?
You know, I found for my content that I put out there, I used to back in the day put out kind of like bleeding edge stuff. What is the coolest, wildest thing that you can know about whatever? And AI kind of like is out there. You subscribe to any AI newsletters, they're always talking about stuff that's like some tools I've never heard of, stuff I didn't even know you could do. It's like, whoa. But what I've realized is we niche down, meaning that I've come to the conclusion that 99.9% of the people on the planet barely know how to use ChatGPT at all, right? And what they're looking for is truly the basics, and not being talked to in this way that they're supposed to be the smartest human being on earth. So we found that by actually niching down and talking about the most basic, easiest tactic that you could possibly do using AI or in your subject line or on social media, that is what people want to talk about. That's what resonates with them. I think too much content out there is focused on, rocket ship stuff that 1% of people can actually do something with.
So let me ask you how hard, and whether this is rocket ship stuff or maybe simple applications. I mean, you built subjectline.com with the subject line tester before there was AI and stuff, but that's a pretty cool tool and gotten you a ton of leads and stuff over the years. Also, I know for one of your events last year, you had an AI image generator that put everybody in 80s costumes on roller skates and afro wigs and stuff, which I definitely needed. I feel like that's a really cool creative use that is maybe more technical than the average person, but also not cutting edge rocket science at this point.
No, and that's it. I think if you just take a step back, put on your creative hat, your marketing hat, and say, okay, what can AI do? Okay, AI could do this on a basic level. Okay, what can I do with that to make it cool? Like, so for example, we had a new event that we were trying to get a lot of traction on. And so we met as a team, we said, what could we do with AI to get people to really want to share information about our event? And so we went out and we looked at the most popular meme templates that existed on the planet, like that little girl with the fire behind her, or the guy who's sitting at a table saying, change my mind. Some of these meme templates that you see everywhere, and they're not copyrighted. You're allowed to use them. And we said, okay, let's make a photo booth where you take a picture of yourself and then it inserts you into the meme, and we caption the meme with something about our event, and we encourage people to share it on social media. So we made, I think, 4 or 5 of these meme templates using AI, and we ended up getting something like 8 million views, organic impressions for our event, and it was awesome.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And not that hard, or I'm guessing not that expensive compared to
no hundreds of dollars. Nothing. I mean, there's a million of these tools out there, so it's really just saying to yourself, okay, instead of trying to make a rocket ship, what would be kind of cool if we, how do we do this with AI, and then just go ahead and do it. And so there's so many fun tactics that you can get everybody involved with that I don't think people really think about enough.
All right, now I want to talk to you a little bit about the human side of things as a marketer, because I think it's really easy to get moving so fast. Everything's going crazy. We could do a million things now with AI. What should we be doing? But also, I know you've had a passion and spoken recently about kind of doing what you enjoy and designing your life here as a marketer, and maybe outsourcing some of this craziness to AI or to other teams and stuff. It's becoming way more accessible. How do you think about maybe what a human marketer should be doing and how they're spending their time in 2025 and beyond?
For myself, what I found was we keep getting inundated with be consistent, put out a lot of content, do webinars. Maybe if you have a podcast, get out your newsletter, post on all your social media stuff. And by the way, do your day job. And I found for myself, I got on this hamster wheel that was really making my life not that enjoyable because I just felt this constant pressure. And side note, it wasn't making me more money, but I was just felt I had to do it. And I took a step back and I said, you know what? I'm going to go deep in certain areas. I'll make sure I have a good newsletter. I'll go deep on LinkedIn, whatever. And then I also found, this is kind of ridiculous, but I don't know about you, but what I do with my email is when I turn on my computer, that's what the screen I stare at is my inbox.
Right.
And I was like, this is not good for me. And so on my calendar now, I have 3 30-minute blocks on my day at 8 in the morning or 8:15, 12:30 and 4:15. And that's the only time I look at my email. And that change for me has been so massive because I think we just have trained ourselves to react to noise and to think that we have to get out a certain amount of content, do some amount of stuff. And I think we got to all take a step back because things are getting ridiculous, in my opinion.
Now, when you and I spoke just for fun, not on the record, we debated the same question. But it kind of lends me to believe, you straddle a line that most people don't understand, which is you're definitely a more guy, as in let's
Yeah.
put more stuff out there, so
Yeah.
see what sticks. Like, let's
Right.
get some activity.
Right.
Something is better than nothing,
Yes.
for sure. Like, send more email, not
Yeah.
less email, right? I've
Yeah.
heard you say that a million times.
Yes.
But at the same time, you're also somebody who goes for the creative idea, the big swings, the home
Yeah.
runs, which I feel like is a little bit more of a less but better strategy. So could you think out loud a little bit about how you make those decisions?
Well, first of all, I like talking out of both sides of my mouth. That way I can't be wrong. Very, very important in life. No, and they're two kind of different things. As it relates to, for example, let's say email, your email marketing, your promotional emails, your newsletters, whatever. I am a believer in getting out more. And but the thing that we make the mistake of, everyone tries to make whatever they're sending out perfect. Oh, this thing, I got to really look at it and make sure it's perfect. Just get it out the door. Who cares? If it stinks, it'll be better the next time. Good is great. And the world of attribution, in my opinion, these days, I don't believe really in direct attribution. I don't believe you send out an email, somebody clicks on something, they download a guide and they become a customer, or they attend a webinar, they become a customer. I don't believe that's attribution. Attribution is surround sound. That you are in that person's orbit enough in all these different areas that once they are in market, that you are top of mind in a positive way. So that way, say, oh yeah, I should reach out to them because I know they do this. I see a lot of their thought leadership, a lot of their stuff. That's the world that I believe that we're in now. But in terms of like the big swings and stuff like that, I do think it's important to have moments where you shine the spotlight in an aggressive way on your business somehow, whether that's a giant virtual event. You really go heavy on like a social media kind of a series that you're doing, but these different events throughout the year where you can have this fire hose of attention, of opportunity, and you could build up to it. You have something to talk about. I think that if you are just a flat line all year with how your go to market is, then you're not going to get that surges that I think every business needs. So that's how we think about it.
Yeah, I think that makes some sense. There needs to be, certainly in marketing today, some feed the beast content. Like you said, we just got to get the bases covered. We got to get the email newsletter out. We got to get a blog post or something going. Something has to go up on social media just so people know that we're in business regular. But
100%.
if you're only doing that, that's kind of like the meat and potatoes every week. Like,
well, I mean, to your point, like on your LinkedIn page, right? If you go, let's say there's a vendor that you're thinking about, and you're like, you haven't worked with them before. So what do? You go to their company page on their LinkedIn page. Okay. And then you go to that page, and let's say they have 2 posts on there and they haven't posted in 3 months. You're like, I don't know about this one. That's not so cool. It's like a negative signal if there's not enough stuff out there. So it's not a matter of, oh, that didn't get a lot of engagement. I didn't give who cares? You need to actually be out there or else it ain't happening.
Yeah. So then I want to take this back to AI a little bit, and we're covering ground. If you haven't noticed yet, Jay talks fast, so this will be a shorter episode than usual. We're going to run out of questions. I think that's the first time it's happened. But you won't run out of stuff to say, which is great. So we'll talk about reality TV or something.
I'm ready.
But taking it back to AI, I guess I'm still struggling with this. Do you think AI can write a better subject line than most humans at this point?
Well, that's a loaded question. The answer is yes, because most humans write horrendous subject lines. Do I think that AI, the weird thing about what's working with subject, so you asked because we have our website, subjectline.com. So I spend a lot of time on subject lines. But the irony of what's working in subject lines are things that are un-AI, meaning what are subject line formats that AI would never give you back? You could actually even ask AI that. So for example, what would that look like? If you had absolutely no letters in your subject line capitalized, none, okay? AI would never give you that back. They just wouldn't, okay? Or if you had, exaggerated words like with like 4 or 5 M's, AI is not going to give you that back, right? Or even misspellings or weird punctuation. And I know that's ridiculous that you're making yourself look like a fool. You're not. What you're doing is you're showing that a human being did this. And so there is this world of un-AI to stand out That doesn't mean you can't use it to help, edit copy and this, that, or whatever. But if you think about it through that lens, it does actually give you a boost in performance.
I think we've seen that for a while, with video, especially the lo-fi
Oh
video
yeah,
doing way better than polished productions. And it kind of makes the sense that it would happen too in email and other social media posts and stuff like that, that
totally.
well polished M dashes with bullets and the blue check marks and stuff
Exactly.
on LinkedIn to bullet it out is going to be a telltale sign. So that's interesting. It seems like, again, you're a zig when everybody else is zagging guy, but you also like to jump on trends.
Yes.
So I don't know, what if you're talking to a marketer, which one's more important, like hitting the
I think
fire emoji on a holiday sale email, or not doing it because everybody else is doing
Well, first of all, I think it's always about testing, A/B testing. That's numero uno on the list. So I can say whatever I want, and you'd be like, that guy Jay is full of crap. But it's all about testing and seeing what works for you. I'd say the biggest AI thing for marketers that I am spending time on, that I think people should be spending time on, is really the concept of AEO, answer engine optimization. And the reason I say that is, we all know about SEO, search engine optimization on Google, right? You make sure you have the meta tags, everything shows up, whatever. But a billion people are going on ChatGPT weekly now and searching. And the stat that kind of blew my mind was that only 7% of websites are optimized for your content, the website's content and offers to show up in results on ChatGPT. Only 7%. And the simplest hack in the world is just to go to ChatGPT and say, here's the URL for my website. What do I need to do to have it optimized so when people ask questions, my content, my information shows up in the results? And it literally gives you a step-by-step guide on what you have to do. And it's not hard. To me, that's right now the simplest, most impactful use of ChatGPT for marketing purposes.
Yeah, I think that one is huge, and I have some deeper dive tools too. If anybody's
There you
out
go.
there, and you want like the full analysis from all the different models and your brand versus other competitors and stuff, hit me up. That one is a really fun tool,
Yeah.
and doing a deep dive. But you're right. I think there's a lot of like low hanging fruit there and stuff that people are not leveraging AI in very obvious ways. So
Yeah.
again, I think you had a webinar last week or the week
Yeah.
before where you were kind of chatting about this with HubSpot and promoting your appearance at
Yeah.
Inbound. Are there any other like basic, just, core swings for marketers that you're seeing with AI right now that people are missing?
I'd say the two other things, and this is so simple. So if you're not doing this, I would do it immediately, is really use the image upload functionality, ChatGPT or any platform they're using, where, take a snapshot, take an email, take a picture of your most recent promotional email or social post or whatever, upload a ChatGPT or platform of your choice and say, hey, act like the world's greatest email consultant and tell me, I'm trying to sell this type of product to this type of audience. What would you change? What's wrong with the call to actions, the subject lines? I send out this time of day. What do you think about the images? And thank God I'm not an email marketing consultant because I go out of business. It will tell you everything that you need to do. And I don't think everyone is using the upload image functionality enough. I mean, another one that's so ridiculous, it should not work. It should be so stupid to do, but we do it all the time and it works. We shrink the size of my inbox, make it really tiny so you can't even read the words. Okay. Then you take a screenshot of your inbox. You'll probably have, I don't know, 100, 200 emails in the image, right? Make an image, upload that to ChatGPT and say to ChatGPT, I know this is ridiculous, but I want you to tell me the 5 emails here that are most likely to be opened because of any data on tactics that you have, and the 5 that are least likely to be opened because of everything that you know. And then it will rip through your inbox and it will tell you, oh, these are good because this has brackets on the subject line. This doesn't say webinar, this, that, or whatever. And you could use your inbox as this like litmus test of what the hell should I be testing. So there are simple hacks like that that take 2 seconds and can be a game changer.
Love it. All right. I got 2 big questions for you. I
Okay.
didn't prep you for these, but
Right.
they're impossible to answer. So take your best swing
I'm ready.
and we will not hold you to it at all. But where do you think the state of marketing is in like 10 years from now? Do you think we get to AI? Are we all out of business? Is it like Minority Report level, marketing, or something else?
I'm not one of these people that's scared of AI taking jobs or whatnot. I do think it's going to be a much, much bigger part of our, marketing lives. It's going to be with us, if you will. But I think what's really coming, even not in 10 years, I'm talking about in the next year or so, is this real time ad development, meaning that I'm going to go on Facebook and there's going to be an ad for, Audi for a car, and the person in the ad is going to look very similar to me, about my age. Maybe we'll know like stuff related to my income, about what the scene that they're driving through is going to be like something I can relate to. And then in real time, somebody else will go on and it's going to look similar to them and their lives and whatever. And I think that every ad that everybody sees is going to be different depending on who they are. And this idea of real-time video generation, real-time image generation, I think we are 6 months, a year away. And I think that is going to be like what makes marketing wildly exciting, but also it's so complicated. But I'm in a marketing services business. I don't envision a world where businesses aren't going to need help navigating how to do their marketing.
Yeah.
Right? What we sell might be different, but they're going to need help.
I think especially small and medium-sized businesses. I kind of see like a bifurcation that the big
agree.
companies like Amazon, Netflix, and stuff, they're going to be doing that. They got the money, the skills, the people to invest in that. Small businesses are probably going to have to do the human side networking stuff, events, things that you're doing. Like we're gonna have to go up and meet actual people because it's going to be impossible to compete with ads that are dynamically generated for that person in that specific moment in time and everything, right? But I think there's still a place for that. I still think there's a place where large companies and things that are complicated to sell are not going to be able to do that without humans.
I agree.
Or on the local scale. So the last one then is, what do you think humanity looks like? And now I normally ask people, which sci-fi movie do you think we'll end up in? But I know you're a reality show guy.
So I like sci-fi. I love sci-fi.
Opposite end of the spectrum. All right.
I love all things sci-fi. I can
within
go
our lifetimes. Let's say like 30 years out. What do you think humanity ends up being?
Well, that's a loaded question, right? So I think that our everyday lives are going to be very, very different. I think that education is going to be very different. Like I don't know if like my kids right now at the age where they're applying to college, going to college, whatever. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if there's the same need to go to all these schools and how education is going to be impacted and the learning curves and all of that. But hopefully 30 years from now, I don't give a crap. And then I'm really old and I'm like drooling on myself and just trying to figure out where I can get,
You're not going to be that old, man.
I know, but 30 years, come on. But yeah, maybe it's like Interstellar or something. Like we're on another planet. Or I don't know what, or maybe we have like superheroes. I'm very excited for Fantastic Four. So maybe something like that will go
on. Okay. I like that. Yeah. I'm thinking that there may be a large amount of people that are not required to work anymore. So hopefully you and I are on the positive side of that. Like we're retired. We're just going to coast and enjoy all the replicated food and
I'll talk to my Optimus robot that'll be in my house and be my best friend.
Do you think there's reality shows in 2055?
Oh, I think more and more that those are the type of shows that are going to be important, right? Where it's going to be like human reality. And it's like, oh my God, look, human beings doing stuff. Because 30 years from now, we're going to have a bunch of robots walking around that we're going to be talking to, which I'm not against. I do talk to
like dirty jobs would blow people's minds, right?
Yeah.
There's a human crawling in a sewer.
Well, that is going to be what happens where you look back and you're going to say humans used to do this job. And people that are born today are going to, in 30 years from now, like, what? They used to do what? They used to clean a toilet? That's crazy,
Absolutely. All right. Thanks for being on the show and sharing all your thoughts with us, Jay. You can find Jay Schwedelson on LinkedIn, Guru Media. Check out subjectline.com, a whole bunch of other places out there. He's not hard to find at all. He's a very good marketer. But Jay, how can you help us or how can we help you?
You all, I appreciate being on the show. You are a rock star. I love it. You're crushing it. It's an honor to be here. And yeah, connect with me on LinkedIn. And if you're really bored, you can check out my podcast, Do This, Not That. We put out way too many episodes. It's super annoying, but yeah, give it a try.
There's one with me on there from
That's
a
true.
year or
That was
two
the
ago.
annoying
You
one I
can
was
go back and if you're into podcasting, hear the podcast about podcasting.
There it is.
You're there too. And if you're looking for help with your small or medium-sized business, go to avenue9.com. I love to do context engineering, interview your founder, your top salesperson, your best client, create all of that stuff to load up into your custom GPT. Make sure you got good data for that. And then talk about what your strategy is to execute with all that stuff that we can make with AI. So avenue9.com. Until next time, keep going. Have fun, everybody. Bye.